This is a marvelous pair of pliers. It can cut through steel bars as easily as cutting noodles, and it can also open doors. Car doors are no exception. In the event of a traffic accident, the deformation of the car frame is the biggest challenge in the rescue process. But with this pair of pliers, nothing is impossible. It can cut what needs to be cut, open what needs to be opened, thereby speeding up the rescue process. And in the case of earthquakes, natural disasters, it can also be used to lift collapsed stone blocks. No need for electrical wires, just a fully charged battery with a slight turn at the end. You can control the pliers to open or close. More notably, the company that invented this device has also developed another rescue tool called the stacking strap. With a thickness of only 2 centimeters, this strap can be placed under heavy objects. When activated by a remote control, the strap will be quickly inflated, lifting the heavy object. Multiple straps can be stacked together, enhancing the lifting and rescue capabilities. This ensures the escape from narrow spaces in emergency situations. Truly a miraculous invention, isn't it? The secret of the solution in front of you, they are not paint, so what are they? Metals are placed into a blue liquid, which seems to be boiling. When taken out, the metal surface will be coated with a blue film. This film can protect the metal from oxidation and corrosion. This is the process of metal treatment with sulfur. That pile of blue stuff is not a liquid, but fine powder. Before the metal is ready to be coated, it needs to be heated once. Its temperature must reach above the melting point of the coating powder. At the same time, the worker will also input compressed air into the bottom of the sulfur tank. This causes the coating powder to roll up, then the metal goes into it. The powder will be heated and melt and stick tightly to the surface. After cooling and hardening, it forms a protective film. In addition, there is a second method of powder spraying, electrostatic spraying. The main principle is electrostatic attraction. The metal is put into negative charge. The spray gun is put into positive charge. The coating powder sprayed out when it comes into contact with the metal because the positive and negative charges attract each other, so the coating powder will stick to the surface. Finally, just heat it a little. These powders will form a sturdy protective film for the metal surface. However, when performing these two tasks, the worker must wear enough standard protective equipment. So, have you gained more knowledge? Here is a mobile conveyor that can be collapsed. When collapsed, it resembles a small pushcart. When expanded, it can transform into a long, winding snake. Its shape can be altered depending on the actual environment, even accommodating sharp turns. Placing goods on the track and gently pushing them, the boxes will slide along the shape of the track forward in no time. The reason for this smooth operation lies in the track, which is filled with steel sliders, and the fact that the track is downhill throughout. Just a gentle push and goods can move nearly 20 meters. To extend this distance, another type of track must be used. Built on flexibility and adaptability, the sliders have been replaced with rollers. Underneath the rollers are wires. After expanding and securing the track, turning on the power, and placing goods on the track, the maximum transport distance depends on the length of the track. Transporters only need to stand on the vehicle, loading and unloading items. Even with dozens of meters between them, just 2 people can handle the loading and unloading tasks. Moreover, even the loaders can be replaced by machines. At the end of the conveyor, when connected to this fully automated robot, incoming goods will be accurately scanned. After quickly calculating the remaining space on the vehicle, the robot controls the lift mechanism to directly place the goods on board. 500 items can be loaded per hour. So, you can understand this from the comfort of your home. Just follow my channel, right? The item just out of the furnace has a temperature of up to 1200 degrees Celsius. The wonder is, the worker nearby doesn't need any protection but can still use bare hands to handle it. Though the inside of this item burns bright red, why doesn't it harm the hands? In fact, it's only hot inside. The surface temperature is very low, like fire trapped inside. That's the special heat-resistant tile, specifically for the space shuttle. Don't even think about holding it with your hands. You won't feel anything, not even when using an air welding machine. When the space shuttle returns to Earth, it passes through the atmosphere where the temperature can reach 1600 degrees Celsius. To ensure astronaut safety, designers added a layer of such heat-resistant tiles to the underside of the shuttle. Even when surrounded by flames, the interior temperature is cooler than a sauna. Its main material is silicon dioxide. Holding it in your hand, it's as light as foam. After refinement and forming fibers, it's mixed with water, poured into molds, and dehydrated. Then it's dried in a kiln. Finally, it's heated to 1360 degrees Celsius. As a result, the newly baked item will be bright. The reason you can hold it directly is that the internal temperature cannot be released immediately, but its surface will quickly cool after being blown by the wind. Do you understand now? two wheels wrap around a tree root in a circle. The small branches have been cleaned up. It only takes a few seconds to clean a fruit tree. This is the magic of the fruit tree pruning machine. Its pruning device is installed on one side of the front of the vehicle. There are a total of 3 discs. On 2 of the discs are full of yellow pulleys. Under the pulleys is the cutting disc. The black disc mainly has a fixing function. After the driver finds the right angle, they will control the 2 cutting discs to surround the tree trunk. The pulleys stick tightly to the tree trunk. They can prevent the cutting disc from damaging the tree trunk and can help rotate. After cleaning a tree, when the black disc advances, the 2 cutting discs will automatically retract. Continue to clean the next tree and not just clean the tree roots. The workers will also replace another machine to prune the branches. There are 2 rotating devices on top of the machine. Each device has 3 rotating cutting discs. After adjusting the appropriate height and angle, drive past the top of the big tree. You can prune 2 rows of fruit trees at once, and the pruned branches will not be left in place. The workers will replace another sweeper. The front of it has 2 rotating sweeping shafts, all of which are long strips of polyamide. Drive along the root of the fruit tree. All the dead branches and fallen leaves will be concentrated in the middle of the road. Finally, the branch bundling machine will collect it. In this way, the orchard becomes clean. How about it? Isn't this very magical? These are steel needles that are 5 mm long and only 0.5 mm in diameter. We put the rusted metal in there, and once the device is started, the steel needles will spin at high speed to grind the metal until it is smooth. This is the special feature of the magnetic polishing machine. Its principle is very easy to understand. Under the bowl are 4 magnets, and under the magnets is a pre-installed coil. Once electricity is supplied and there is current, electromagnetic phenomena will appear. The original steel needles attracted by the magnet will change with the change of the magnetic field, thus making the steel needles rotate. And the larger the current, the faster the rotation speed of the steel needles, the higher the grinding efficiency. Most magnetic polishing machines, before working, in addition to preparing a large amount of steel needles, also need to add a suitable amount of water as a buffer. With the existence of water, the steel needles in the process of high-speed friction not only will not appear too high temperature, but also can improve the polishing effect. If the metal surface has oil stains, you can also add a little dishwashing water. This will make the cleaning effect better. In addition, in traditional polishing machines, sand and grinding stones are the main grinding tools. Relying on mechanics to make them rotate can also achieve polishing effect. A train moves and unloads rocks along the way. A large amount of rock slides down from the shield at the bottom of the carriage and is evenly stacked next to the track. What is it doing? Don't think that this is because the train can't pull, so it unloads goods to reduce weight. In fact, this is the process of filling the track. You need to know that when building a new railway line, not many tracks will be laid. After the railway is opened and operated, the train will continuously crush the track. This causes the track under the track to change from loose to worn. It can even make the track uneven, which greatly affects the stability of the track. Therefore, after a period of operation of the new track, workers will carry out a track filling. At that time, you will see the scene you saw at the beginning of the video. The carriage of the train is not always used to carry goods. Some carriages will be used to carry this kind of rock. When going to the section of the road that needs to fill the track, the train will slow down and open the shield at the bottom of the carriage. To let the rock naturally flow onto the track, you can see that this is the work of the train. Otherwise, the workers will have to do this. This small car has good maneuverability. The front of the car is replaced with a tractor. There is only one tower carriage. It can fill the track for a specific section of the road. After completing this work, the track will restore stability. Machines are moving through the forest, holding up everyone and cutting down large trees with the cutting wheels below. At the same time, the upper part is holding the trees and transferring them backwards, collecting them one by one on the island behind, collecting while moving. These large trees will eventually be burned as firewood. This is the way to use large trees. Small trees are more suitable for making paper products. At that time, workers will switch to another machine. Unlike the previous one, this machine does not collect whole trees, but crushed debris. The core device of the machine has 3 parts. The bottom also has 2 cutting wheels. Connecting them are 2 rotatable columns. The surface of the column is full of saw teeth. After cutting the small tree near the root, the 2 columns will rotate and push the trunk to the middle. At that time, the horizontal push rod above will rotate and push the trunk down. The 2 of them push the small tree into the shredder in the middle. There, 2 rollers will hold the small tree and roll it into the machine. After stirring them into debris, a large horsepower blower will blow the debris from the bottom of the machine directly into the hopper of the transport truck next to it. In just half an hour, a ton of wood debris can be harvested. This way of working that crushes small trees on the spot not only reduces transportation costs, but also saves the crushing work of the factory. On the flat lawn, hundreds of thousands of small holes are punched. What is this for? In fact, this is not an ordinary lawn, but the turf on a golf course. Punching small holes in it is to help it drain and enhance air circulation, improving the quality of the lawn. If holes are not punched periodically, rainwater will accumulate under the lawn, forming these unevenly sized lawn water bubbles. It would be troublesome to deal with at this time. Therefore, this hole punching machine was invented. The worker sits in front and drives the robot to move quickly, and the hole punching device at the back operates at high speed. The length of the steel nails is all over 10 centimeters, usually 4 to 6 in a group. A hole punching machine must install at least 3 groups. Because the speed of punching holes is so fast, people think that all the steel nails are punched into the lawn at the same time. But in fact, they are punched and pulled out in turns by each group. Of course, these small holes will not always stay in place. After punching hundreds of thousands of small holes on the lawn, the worker will change to a scraper, scrape the lawn once, then water and fertilize, allowing the lawn to recover growth. In this way, when it rains, the rainwater will seep into the ground through the pre-flowing holes. It ensures that the lawn will not be affected by water accumulation and facilitates air circulation, promoting the growth of green grass. How about it? Isn't this very magical?
This is the pear cactus, a plant of comprehensive value because it contains many vitamins and minerals. Whether eaten directly or juiced, it is loved by everyone. However, harvesting it requires workers to face danger because the small thorns of this cactus can pierce directly into the eyes or skin. Therefore, workers need to wear gloves and protective glasses throughout the process. The harvested cactus will be cleaned with clean water and a brush to remove small thorns and bacteria on the surface. The cleaned cactus can be dried using a hot air dryer. Next, workers will manually select fruits that have been damaged or injured by impact. The sorted fruits will be directly put into the production line. At this point, workers will package and box directly the fruits that look perfect and ripe. These fruits will be sent to supermarkets for direct sale. The remaining fruits will be directly taken to the processing building. Rotating wheels will directly press these fruits. The grinder at the bottom will have a filter, which will separate the pressed fruit pulp. These fruit pulps will not be wasted. They will be used as animal feed or food fertilizer. The remaining fruit pulp will be filtered again, separating the seeds. These seeds will be pressed into cooking oil. Finally, this fruit pulp, after being sterilized, will be packaged into preservation bags.